Guys, thanks for joining us today. Today, you got myself, Lieutenant Coop, and we've got our wonderful Captain McFarland.
Hello, ladies and gents.
So thank you so much for joining us. Diego, I see you. Hey, welcome. Diego, I know you tried to call me last week. After the podcast, give me a call. I'm going to talk to you.
He's going to get Fan of the Year award. He should.
That's actually something I wanted to talk about, is talking about we did a podcast, a pre-recorded.
Yes.
Where
Podcast from the future.
Yes. So next week, to kind of branch into something a little bit quick, next week we are going to be so busy with the draft that we are not going to be able to do Titan Talk Live. So we pre-recorded our shows for you guys, so they'll be released directly at 2 because I can preset those times.
You can still comment and stuff. We
yes.
just won't be able to answer live.
Right.
So I think there's a few on there where we want some of your feedback. Can I tell them what one of them is?
Sure.
One of them is a reaction video. We get a lot of traffic with those.
Everybody loves those.
Yeah. Coop's tasked with the tough task of finding ones that don't have media overlay or another news outlet because there's a copyright issue. So he's got to find kind of a raw video, which is pretty rare.
Without actually like emailing the department and finding the original body cam footage and editing it down.
And they probably wouldn't give it to us anyway.
Yeah, they would actually.
Really?
Yeah, it just takes a lot. It takes like 15 to 20 days.
Then get on it. Get on it.
Have you
don't have anything else to do, so it's not
have you tried
scheduling 450 people.
Have you tried to talk to LA County and tried to, no?
Yeah, they'd be like, "Who are you, security?" And then it's like, it's click. So we try to do those when we can. I know you guys like them, but anyway. So one's a reaction video, and then the other one is kind of talking about the draft. Obviously, that's why we're doing it, because it's going to be all hands on deck. Those of you that are helping, thank you. You're going to hear that quite a bit through over the next week. Once we're exhausted already. It hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of, and I really haven't had that much involvement.
There's a ton of back end work on top of the front end once we get there.
Our regional account manager Roses and Sergeant Kavist and Lieutenant Coop, Lieutenant Brown, Lieutenant Shaughnessy, April, all those guys and gal have been busting their chops to get things lined out, people ready. So thank you guys. Big shout out to you. And so that segues to, we're going to do shout out of the week.
Yep.
We're going to start doing it. You guys got to hold us to it because I get squirrel brained. Well, he'll help me to it. Monday, or I mean, we'll probably do it.
We've got one
Fridays.
The Monday show that we're going to release has two shout outs in it, and then we were thinking, and that's kind of something we ask you on the Monday show to let us know if you guys think that that's something you would like, is to do that, to where we do maybe once a month or twice a month where we do a shout out to officers that have been doing a good job.
Yeah, we'd like to do weekly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we may end up doing bi-weekly or something. So how that's going to look is we'll call you and just be like, hey,
get your permission.
I read this report. I read this report. You helped this kid find its parents or whatever, something that, you kind of went above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one example. Anything that I feel or we feel like deserves recognition from the lieutenants on up, and my sergeants as well. We will reach out to you like, hey, we're going to give you a little shout out, give you a little credit. Is that going to embarrass you, or do you mind? I have a feeling most of you guys probably won't, because you guys got pretty thick skin to work in this industry anyway. And it's nice to be recognized every once in a while for how hard you guys work.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of that. I'm kind of the one that's got behind the Officer of the Month, and thankfully Brian has helped out a lot with the social media side of things because that's not my expertise. Mine is identifying good team players. Mm-hmm. It's just something I've always been able to do, and it's not hard. I just say, hey, that guy's doing really good, so let's take care of him, get him lunch or something. And so that's one of the more rewarding parts of my job, along with like the teaching, instructing side. The disciplines and having to deal with bad people all the time is not. So I like to highlight those good parts. So I will be starting that probably the week after the draft.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work. We will start to give you guys some praise on that on the show. So
something else on the show as well is I'm looking into starting a new segment as well, is security or police stories. And so something I'm looking into, and I'm going to be getting with my higher ups on with that, is to see what we can say, what we can't say, if we can have special guests, if they'd be willing to, and stuff like that. So that's something hopefully in the next month I'd like to start, is just security stories of
that's a really good idea.
Good times, bad times, indifferent times of where things have gone down, and just kind of here's where some of the things that we get to deal with. Here's some of the good notes. Here's some of the bad notes. Here's some of the wow, that's a crazy story type stuff. So that's something I'm working on, just so you guys have that, because it is something that I find pretty interesting. And for those of you who watch our podcast who aren't security and you're considering it, I'd like you guys to get some understanding and real expectations of what security can entail, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and you see security range in movies from good and indifferent to all the way to like that's hilarious, but that's not anywhere near what the expectation is and stuff. So I think a little bit more having that kind of relation set up would be a good idea.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. Security kind of gets a bad rap. Security in and of itself is just, it's so wide ranging, from the monitoring to actual boots on the ground to carrying a gun, not carrying a gun, to corporate, to private persons like security details,
VIP,
yeah,
versus
or VIP.
school
There you go,
versus-
VIP and schools, and so there's so many things that you can do in the security field, which kind of is what attracted me to it. Having a law enforcement background is great, and I just nowadays, if I were to redo it and try to get on a police department, I don't know if I would. I don't feel like it's worth getting shot trying to stop somebody for a tag.
It's funny.
Just, it's just crazy. I have a lot of help, you can still do a lot of good on the security side of things for people, and that's what drew me to that career in the first place. But I don't know. I don't know if I would. So that's a lot. Kudos to the guys that still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten older, obviously, and so my wife appreciates it. My family appreciates it, because they were always telling me, hey, we're so proud of you, but we worry all the time. And so thinking about that is just like, I hate putting them through that. So, yeah.
I remember when I told my dad I was going to do this for a living, and I was going to use this as a lead in to be a police officer. And he got real quiet on the phone. And he goes, oh, okay. We hung up, and it was like 2 or 3 days later, he called me back, and he goes,
You sure about that?
He goes, we got to talk. I was like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what's up? And he goes, I don't like this. And I go, you don't like what? And he goes, I don't like this. And I was like, you got to tell me, because I don't know. I can't read your mind. One, we're states away from each other, so I need a little bit more than that. And he goes, I don't like the fact that you want to be a cop. And I'm like, why? And he, we talked like an hour. And I was like, I get it. I do. But here's what's going on. And as time went on and everything like that, I was like, I can do a lot of good here, doing what I'm doing in security. Okay, well, let's measure the pros and cons. And the pros kind of outweighed the cons. And a decade later, here I sit.
Here you are.
So I understand that completely. And those friends that I have that I've worked with here that moved on to being police officers, if any of you guys are watching, I commend everything you guys do. You guys do it in a world and in a way that I made a determination that I can't. And you guys stepped up to a bigger plate, and all the respect and everything I can give you guys to the end of the world.
Yep,
all of it.
Well, we need you here because we need your brain.
It's a little messed up brain, but that's fine.
Yeah, true.
But other than that, we just kind of wanted to check in with everybody and just have a.
Can we do slam poetry style storytelling?
No.
Isn't that where you go to like the coffee?
Slam poetry?
Isn't it like where you go? Diego, what's slam poetry? I saw this the other day. It's where you go to the coffee shop and they're like, it's like that really hipster.
No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to.
Has like the beanie, but it's like summer and like a beard and a little twirl. And it's like. They talk about, I don't know. Maybe it's not slam poetry. It's like when they're in a coffee shop.
Is that the one where like they got the bongo drum?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
No.
And someone's in the back like, it's like he entered the domicile.
And we're just gonna mute you now.
You always want to mute me. It's not fair.
Because you keep doing stuff like that.
I can talk loud enough for your mic will pick me up.
That's true. But so we just wanted to kind of decompress a little bit with saying some of the stuff like that with the draft coming up next week. Just because there's a lot going on the back end, there's going to be a lot going on the forward end. For those of you, he said it once. Excuse me. I'm going to say it, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned it in both podcasts that are pre-recorded for next week. I can't thank everybody enough. For those of you who stepped up, who currently work for us, for those of you who stepped up, who are coming in as helping your team, who are coming in and stuff like that.
Volunteers, too.
The volunteers, I can't thank you guys enough for the teams that we're working with from the NFL You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you guys do for it. There's just so much going on that everybody pulling in for it. It's been an amazing thing to watch.
It's really
happen.
cool to see
Yeah.
all these people we care about. What's Diego saying over there? It's really cool
Nothing
to see. Diego, come on, get on the horn.
He's busy.
You're not going to get off or
right,
fan of the year.
I'm looking. No, leave him alone.
So, but it's just cool to see all these people that we really care about and treat like family excel. There's just something to be said about watching someone that you have a really good relationship with just kick ass. You know, it's the closest thing I'll have to having kids. Well, and I got siblings too, and it's the same way with them. You know, my little brother got
There you go.
a full-time gig with the Royals, and I was so happy for him. The Elements Performance Writing Competition. Yeah, dude, we got to do slam poetry in here.
No.
Brian will be all for it. I guarantee it. I bet Brian does slam poetry.
I'll make you a deal. If you can convince Brian to do a slam poetry, we will have him in.
100% he will do it.
I guarantee.
I
Brian, if you're
guarantee it.
watching, if you wind up watching this
I'm going to
one,
call him as soon as I
that's the
leave.
deal.
I'm going to call Brian. I haven't had enough Brian this week either. Love that guy. No, what was I saying, though? Oh, yes. Having people around you that do really well and are good at what their craft is, it's so cool to see and just makes you super proud of
To
them.
watch it work. I mean, just to
Yeah, like, hey, look at my buddy. Look how good he is at that. You got buddies that are good like that? I
just
doubt
to,
it.
to watch everything that comes together and everything like that, from the volunteers all the way to the security companies, the law enforcement, the actual guys who run the show themselves and everything. It's crazy to see how something like Union Station can go from looking like Union Station to looking the way it looks now.
Yep.
And how it all flows correctly and moves with a purpose. And it's just one of the reasons I love doing security and I love the job that I do here, and it's one of the reasons I stayed, is because we get to experience that from start to finish, not just coming in on the mid section and being part of it as an off duty or something like that. We actually get to be there from beginning to middle to end, and it is one of the coolest things to watch.
Yeah. It's probably going to be a little hectic, but it's going to be hectic and chaotic.
Diego, I will give you a call around 3. I'll make a note for myself. I'll give you a call around 3.
It's going to be hectic. It's going to be crazy. But, excuse me. I think I'm pretty confident in this team, and that we'll all be standing at the end of it, pending that Union Station doesn't collapse. So they have all the stuff out front in the parking. Those of you who aren't familiar with Union Station, it's almost like an oval track like an oval track. Parking is one big circle, and you park in the middle, right by the front, and they've got a huge like Skynet looking, metal structure they built that's going to house like kind of the fans and stuff like that. And there's so much weight that it actually, I believe, collapsed in some areas. So, are you making a?
I made myself a note.
That was the longest note I've ever seen.
It's hard to do on my phone.
Fair. I just set an alarm, and then I'm like, what did I set this alarm for? I never remember.
I always have to put the name in them.
Yeah, I'm too lazy. I'm just like 1400.
That's why it took so long. It's 'cause
I
I
see
had-
it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do again?
That's why it took so long. Something I do want to mention, something else about the draft, for the weather.
Yep, that's what I
It's
was looking
looking like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week are supposed to be showers. So it's got a mid to high chance of rain and cloud coverage. So
Ooh, it's beautiful weather. I love that 50s, 60, like almost
I like
fall
thunderstorms.
weather. I love a good
But so for those of you,
rumbling summer.
be prepared for those of you working regular posts, dress for the weather. For those of you working the NFL draft, dress for the weather. Be prepared for it. Just keep that in mind and stay ready for it. So it's Monday, Tuesday. It looks like we're probably going to be the rain days. Next week, most of next week's going to be outside normal, what we've been used to recently for what we've had here, which has been moderately kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. Other than the wind, it's been pretty good.
Well, but when it's 50 and windy, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm insulated, so I don't get cold very easy. I can always layer up. I can only get so naked.
That's true. That's very true. But other than that, that's really all I have. We just wanted to do a quick show for you guys. Make sure we could talk to you and have a little decompression. If you guys have anything you want to say it. Go ahead and pop it in the chat real quick. Not the first time.
Yeah, I'm just not
You're
ashamed
a
of it.
nose scratcher.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, my mustache I need to trim my mustache when it gets long.
We're not talking about this, are
Yes, everybody needs to know about my mustache. The hairs get a little tickle. I can speak loud enough on your mic. Don't Don't make me use my big boy voice.
But so if you guys have anything in for us, or if you guys want to say anything, say it in chat. The one thing I do want to say is if you guys really like the reaction videos or the breakdown videos that
Keep
we were
sending
doing,
them.
please let me know. If you guys have any, please send them to me.
Scratch it again.
Something
Don't care.
I do want to say on that note is if you guys do have a video you want us to react or do a breakdown for, it might take me a little bit because I've got to either find the original file, because a lot of the times I get videos, I've had a few of them sent in to me that are from other channels that
It's usually news stations, right?
usually news. I get a lot of the donut operator or stuff like that as well. They'll react to them.
Could you use like live PD?
Yes, I can use.
Because I can probably get you a bunch of this. I used to
I
watch
can
that show
use-
religiously.
So what I can use on there is I can use anything that was released for the public through PDs. So that's generally what I do.
Yeah, because there's not a bunch of.
But they don't label-
They don't narrate it.
They
all,
don't
though.
label them. They're also labeled by the case number. So there's no label of like what happens.
What do you mean?
So generally when PD releases the video and they release it to like, because most PDs, which I found, have a YouTube channel. And when they release,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I figured. I didn't even.
So
think
when they
about it.
release a video, they release it on there like body cam or something like that. And it's not a normal like man attacked on Subway or anything like that. It's a file number, like a case number.
Yeah, but what? Like if you watch it, then you'll know what happens.
Yeah.
And then you can.
But I'm just
post
saying
it,
like
yeah.
it's not a traditional way of labeling it because they're not trying to draw attention to it. They're releasing it to the public.
Yeah. What about that body cam show? That's another one.
I've used that a couple of times.
Scratch my nose again. That was mustache only.
But so if you guys have those videos, send them to me, and if I can find the original video, I'll go from there and we'll use them. If I can't use them, I can't use them. But I do what I can. If you find ones that have full dispositions or you know the disposition, send me the video and send me a disposition too.
Cool.
So if you know the full story of it, that really helps too. Otherwise, I got to do the history search on that so I don't give the boys a heart attack and not have all the data. But I've had a few of those.
Well, I think it's time to mow.
But other than that, that's really all we have.
Get it, mow, go. They rhyme. I gotta go mow my yard.
Behind your bronze fence.
Golden Gates.
So we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Stay dressed for the weather. Stay hydrated. We will be pre-recorded for the next 2 shows. So again, we won't be live with you, but any comments or anything, you can put them in the comments. Brian will probably be upset if I don't do this.
Ooh, one last thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna do a premature shout out, and I don't care if he cares or not. Sergeant Patton. I don't know if we said or not, but he's recently become a firearms instructor, and he's doing really well. He's
no, I don't actually know if we put that out there before.
I don't think so either, or I don't know either, and I don't think so. But also another thing, you guys all know his voice is very monotone. This is Ryan Patton, and he's been doing a lot of behind the scenes dirty work of manning phones and scheduling and stuff like that. So be patient with him when you guys are blowing him up to let him know that your button is missing. Like we talked about the other day, or that might be on a new one or the future ones. But just have some patience and
That was Lieutenant Shaughnessy.
Sergeant. What?
Lieutenant Shaughnessy's on those pre-recorded with us.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I mentioned what I just said though or not.
No.
Okay. But yeah, Sergeant Patton, keep up the good work, dude. We could not operate how we operate without you. Having somebody we trust to do a job with the severity or the severity or if someone did that position incorrectly, the consequences would be major.
Yeah.
As far as to the command staff. So thank you so much for what you do, buddy. Keep keeping on. And we're trying to get some structure moved around. We are looking for a lieutenant. So those of you that are interested, please make sure you're in the CAP program. And then get endorsed by a current lieutenant, which means do a good job, and they'll be like, yeah, that guy's good. Get him in here. And then we will groom you and show you what to do to where you can have a little bit more money and a lot more responsibility, but you're around a family of people that will take care of you, give you time off at the drop of a hat for emergencies and stuff like. I mean, you guys. I'm saying what we've always said before. So if you guys want to come drink the Kool-Aid, please do not hesitate. Comment on here. We can walk you through the CAP program. So off my soapbox.
So on that, I think we're going to call it, guys. Thank you so much for everything you guys do in the field. Thank you so much for putting up with us on the podcast. We will talk to you guys live again, not next week, but the week after. The next shows are pre-recorded. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I hate doing that. Brian's gonna be happy I did it. but
Gross.
It feels weird.
Oh, I gotta call him.
So if you guys need anything, we'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you guys on the next live. Thanks, guys.
I thought you said next slide.